Hello folks, it's Rich here, Puma top, check, and yeah, so this made a sneaky appearance last night with a couple of playing type clips. So what is this and why is this here? So those who don't know me, I'm just a novice guitarist, can't really play, but I like guitars, I've had lots of them, and you can't really call me a collector because I don't keep them all. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the moment. But anyway, so I recently had from Peach Guitars a PRS SE Swamp Ash Special, maple neck, HSH, although the switching configuration wasn't typical. Had some nice stratty tones, good looking guitar. It had a bent pot on it. I mean Peach do a good job of QCing and setting things up, so it must have just slipped through. It wasn't majorly bent, it was a push-pull pot, but it was slightly. So I spoke to them, they were really good, and they said that we can send you a new one and a bit of money, £30 towards a tech, put a new pot in. And initially I said, yeah, that's a good idea, and then I thought, do you know what, it's £700 is a lot of money to me. It's a new guitar, I don't want to be having to do that. And Tom, the tech guy I use, hi Tom if you're watching, it is a long way from me. It's like 2.5 hours one way now as well. So I thought, no. And also this switch on that, which is a little toggle switch here, it's quite stiff feeling, not particularly nice feeling. In fact, the switch on my Harley Benton feels better than that. But, so I thought, you know what? No, let's. It's a lot of money. Let's ask them to pick it up and we'll swap it for another one. And I had a quick look on their site for another one I like the look of, and whilst I was just looking at PRSs, I saw this, and yeah, so I thought, Now the Swamp Ash Special's got a maple neck, and which is nice, and it's nice. I've always fancied a PRS with maple necks. I like maple necks. It's something a bit different, but it felt unfinished, I suppose is the best way to put it, and it was really quite pale as well. I mean, far from awful, it's just me being picky on stuff. So I'm like, that neck, it was okay, but yeah, then with Fender, now maple necks, certainly on the Mexican series, and well, yeah, I think maybe all of them, they put a tiny glossy sort of finish just on the top, and they just, I don't know, they just look a bit more finished somehow. So this looked unfinished, a bit like a bullet, square bullet. The little toggle switch. So I thought let's swap. And let's have this instead. Now I've had a PRS standard 24 before, which I liked. It's 25-inch scale length, 24 frets. I'm not really a 24 fret kind of a guy, but somehow, and I don't know whether, I can't put a finger on it really, whether it's the bird inlays or, I don't know what it is really, but it doesn't feel like a 24 fret guitar. I don't feel as lost somehow. I don't know, can't explain. But, and also I thought the tones, I really like the tones on the Swamp Ash Special, but in some ways this is a bit more, well, it's a bit more straightforward with the push-pull here. Just splits the coils rather than having the configuration that you had on the other ones. A slightly different feel. I really much prefer the blade switch. Much nicer feeling on the ear. Yeah, and also I love the colour of this as well. So this is the SE24 Custom. The side of the, yeah, you can just about see that in the camera, that nice sort of bound neck, and the back it's a solid colour. PRS do that a lot, don't they? It looks black on first impression, but actually it's a super sort of dark mahogany browny sort of a colour. It's got the strap buttons, I like the mushroom ones. PRS tuners, it's a wide thin neck. Now I don't know whether it's just because there's a bit of gloss on here, or the fretboard, which is this is a lovely slab of rosewood as well, and look how dark that is. It's gorgeous, but the neck does feel different, doesn't? It feels slimmer. I don't know how that can be the case. I'm sure it's not. Frets are perfect on it, and you know what? Even though that's a gloss neck, it doesn't feel like a sticky gloss. It's still really smooth. I don't know how they've done that. That's not to say that would be the case if your hands got really sweaty. Don't know. And then Peach Guitars do a setup on it, so before they come out. Hard to show you here really, but the action is absolutely perfect for me. That's about as low as you can possibly get that without any buzz. Got the push-in arm on here. Obviously the strings will still need a bit of bit of stretching out, so that won't keep tuned straight away. Although it has kept tune a bit better than the Swamp Ash one did. That was going out of tune straight away. One thing I like about PRS as well is their standard tuners. I'd forgotten, because it's been a while since I had one, that they're just really smooth feeling, the PRS tuners. I mean, they're nothing special, but they're very smooth. In fact, the hip shop open gear locking tuners I had on my Chapmans aren't as smooth, nice feeling as these. I've just noticed one tiny thing. Can't unsee it, but I'm not going to let it bother me. It is a tiny thing. Can the camera pick this up? No, probably not. The nut on this side doesn't quite go right to the very edge of the fretboard. It's cut probably only a mil, but a mil too short on the left hand side. So there's a tiny ridge here. Just about make that out. Don't look at my ugly face. That's the only flaw, but get in for that. So yeah, so I had a little play with it last night. You can find that in another video if you want to, just on some cleans and a bit of crunch. But yeah, the customs, so on the SE24, I mean, they've all gone up in price now, but let's say the standard 24 is about $575 or something like that. You can get them for various prices now, especially slightly older ones. And they've got a plain top, and then the custom, which this is, you get flamed top on it, and that's about £100 more. This was $699. And then you get the quilt top, which has got a quilt body and matching headstock, and they've now gone to ebony fretboard, and they're about $900. So all the same pickups, all the same everything, you just pay more money for the finish on them. This one is called Black Gold Burst. So yeah, full size block in the back. It's got 4 springs springing on here. One thing PRS don't do if they do on their expensive ones, they don't recess the plastics, which is a bit lazy, isn't it? It's one of the things I really liked on the Chapmans for doing that. Yeah, let me know what you're thinking anyway, if you've got one of these. So that's the story, and I'm very happy with that.